One of the most surprisingly good games at the Wii's launch was something called Excitebots. There was definitely a contingent of people who were just angry that they were getting it instead of a fresh new Mario Kart, but it offered an experience that really showed off how the Wii would execute on racing games in the future, for better or for worse. The whole process of holding the remote sideways and tilting it originated with that game. In fact, it ended up being successful enough to warrant a sequel. And that's the game I'm looking at this week, Excitebots. Where Excitebots was a definitely energetic, fast-paced fun, Bots takes it to a whole new level, adding on more levels by the minute in the early going. There are more mechanics in a single race than most racing games have in their entire lineup, and it surprisingly works in Excitebots' favor. You don't just race in Excitebots, you're also playing little mini-games as you race. It's as much about outracing your opponents as it is about outperforming them in the mini-games along the way. And that dynamic creates this sense of absolute chaos in each race that allows Excitebots to very easily carve out its very own space in the genre. You'll be racing along, then grow legs, grab a dart, throw it for a bullseye, then nab a tambourine and have to hit it out in the right rhythm, all while you're still ostensibly racing for first place. But that's something else interesting about this game. First place doesn't always matter. What ultimately matters for the game's progression is getting stars, and getting higher and higher ranks on each course as you progress. While winning gives you bonus stars, it's not always necessary to get them. You can get second place and still S-rank a track, as long as you performed well at all the points where you needed to execute on jumps and stunts throughout the track. Some people will certainly see that as a downside. The fact that first place doesn't matter makes it feel slightly less like a racing game for sure, but as I played more and more of it, I grew to just enjoy the chaos, to revel in it. But just as the platform it was released on gave it the opportunity to implement a bunch of weird motion control based minigames, that's also the element that harms it the most. Anyone who's ever used a Wii remote knows it's certainly not the most precise thing in the world, especially when you're not using its infrared-based pointer functionality. And there were just a lot of times where I couldn't quite make it through a small opening or do the thing I wanted to do because the Wii remote refused to do it. Still, I think this game is absolutely worth checking out. The inaccuracy and frustration sometimes caused by the Wii remote are somewhat blunted by the game's overriding chaos. Often you might not even notice something weird is going on with the remote, given all the other crazy stuff happening at the same time. This might not be the best racing game mechanically, and perhaps even calling it a racing game might be a bit of a stretch, but its over-the-top nature is something that everybody should experience. In case you missed it, I look at games that were either ignored when they came out, or have been forgotten since. Games that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see the latest videos. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.